Now I'll see what is a function. In simple words, you can say a function is a group of statements that perform a specific task. A function is a group of statements that perform a specific task. Okay. Or more specifically, we can define a function like this. A function is a set of statements that take input, do some specific task and produces output. So function can take input also and function can produce output also. See, idea is to put some commonly or repeatedly done task together and make a function. So that instead of writing same code again and again for different input, we can call the function. Yeah, so functions are convenient way to divide your code into useful blocks, allows to order our code, make it more readable, reuse it and save time. Okay. Now here you need to understand some two, three things like function might or might not require input. So passing input to function is not mandatory. Depending on the task of a function is supposed to carry out, it might or might not return a value. And most important thing, functions are only executed when they are specifically called. Means only defining function doesn't make a sense. We need to call that function as per our requirement because function will get executed only when it is called. Okay, so this is how we can define a function. In simple words, once again, you can say it is just nothing but a group of statements that perform a specific task. Okay, so on this line, we are having different types of functions. Like first one, you can say built-in function or library function. Now, we are already having idea about built-in function because we used various built-in function. We are using print function from our first program, which is a library function. We are using input function, which takes input from keyboard. That is a library function. We have seen len function to find out the length of different data structures. That is a library function. So library function or built-in function is already created, already defined function that we are just using in our program. Second one, user defined function. That is our main focus point right now. It is a function designed and defined by user as per the requirement. And last one, that is anonymous function, a function without name, or we can call it as a lambda function also. So anonymous function is one very interesting feature in Python, that is to define a function without name. So we'll see first user defined function, how we can write our own functions in a program. We'll see how we can create and call the function. Creating function is just nothing but defining that function, and as we have said, by only defining it doesn't work, we need to call that function. So we'll see how we can call function also. So in Python, function is defined using the def keyword. Python function is defined by using def keyword. So syntax is somewhat like this. First use this keyword def, then name of function, then opening closing parenthesis, then colon, and then write down the body of function, means whatever statements you want to write down. And we can call this function using function name followed by parenthesis. So this is how we can call this function. This is how we can define it, and this is how we can call it here. Let's check how we can define a function. So first, we're defining function. So here we are writing function starting with this keyword def. Then this is the name of functions they are supposed to show. Then opening closing parenthesis, then colon. And now write down statements inside this function. So here we are just printing some statements like inside function, waiting from function. This is definition of a function. Yeah, and now we can call this function. Here we are calling function by name of function and parenthesis. In fact, in case of PyCharm or this editor, you always get this help like this one. So you can just enter, and this is how we are calling this function here. Execute this code. So here your function will be get invoked, and these two statements are getting printed over here on screen. Now this way we can call this function any number of times. So suppose here I am calling this function 3 times like this. So every time that code will get executed. Okay, so this is how we can create a function or define a function, and this is how we can call this function any number of times through program. In defining function, we said that function can take input and it can also produce output. So we'll see how we can define a function with input and output now. Now This information what we are passing to function is known as arguments. Okay, so we'll directly see over here. Now see, this is our function show, which is already there. We'll make changes in this function only. Let's remove this comments from here. Now see, to this show function, we want to pass one string value now. This show function, we want to pass one string value, and this show function will receive this value as a input here. So this value what we are passing to function, that we can pass from here. So here we are just passing one name of a person, like say John. So this value what we are passing is known as an argument. Write down. This value what we are passing is known as an argument, and variable in which we are receiving this value is known as a parameter. So here in our case, name will be known as a parameter. To understand these two terms, this value what we are passing as an information to function is known as an argument, and this variable in which we are receiving this value or argument is known as a parameter. So name is a parameter. Now we can use this name over here. So here we are just saying hello plus name. So this is an input to function. This is an input to function, and this is a variable in which we are receiving this input. So just print output. So it will print like hello John. We can one space over here. It will be like this. Here we'll write down another function with different number of arguments and different type of arguments also. So we'll write one simple function like add, which takes two arguments. So that's why we are writing two parameters here, A and B. We are printing addition of these two numbers. So see, this add function takes two arguments which we are storing in these two parameter variables A, B, and we are just printing addition of these two numbers. Here we can call this function like this by passing these two values 10, 20, and it is printing this whatever addition. So bottom line is this: we can pass any number of arguments, we can pass any type of arguments also. Only thing is that while defining a function, the way we are defining, number of arguments and number of parameters should match. There are some alternatives for that also, but currently the way we are defining this function, number of arguments and number of parameters should match here. Okay, so these values what we are passing is known as an arguments. This is the input to function. Okay, now we'll see how we can produce output also from this function. So we'll just modify same function here. So in this function we are taking two variables, taking two arguments here in A and B, and printing addition over here. Now instead of printing this addition, suppose if you want to return this value, means we want to generate output, that output is just a thing but addition of these two numbers here. So to return any value from a function as an output, we can use this return statement. So write down this keyword return, and in front of that return write a value which you want to return from that function. That value can be anything. It can be a simple integer, double, float, string, or list, or whatever it can be. Whatever value you want to return from this function, write just in front of this return keyword. So here we are saying return A plus B. So now in our case, add function takes input of two values and it returns addition of that two numbers. Okay, so that will be considered as output. So where we can receive that output from, where we are calling this function here. We are calling this function from here. Now that function, to this function we are passing two values that will be received in this variable A, B, and this function returns addition of these two numbers that we need to receive in one variable over here. So we can receive this output in this T variable here. Okay, and that we can print. So this is how we can return value from a function. This is how we can pass input to function. We'll see another example using function. In this program, we are going to write down one function which will find out the factorial of given argument here. See, this is the name of function fact. As one argument will be sent to this function as an input that we are receiving in this parameter n, and here we want to calculate factorial of that number. We are already having idea how to calculate factorial. We have seen that program also. So we'll directly write down a loop. Here we are creating sequence through this range function. Now that sequence, see here, you don't remember. If you want to calculate factorial of 5, our code will be 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So 5 is already there, 5 is your variable n. So we want to create a sequence from 4 to 1 here. So range function we are writing like this. It starts from n minus 1. We are going in downward direction like 4, 3, 2, 1. So ending value will be 2 and step will be minus 1 here. And what we exactly want to do, we will just multiply n by I. So finally your answer will be get stored in this variable n, which we are returning from this function. What is fact function? Fact function takes one parameter, one argument, that is number, and it returns output, which is just nothing but factorial of that number here. Then we are writing one add function like previous one, which takes two values a and b. And now instead of directly adding these two numbers, we are calculating factorial of a and factorial of b, and we create addition of these two factorial values. So add function takes two arguments as the input, finds out factorial through factorial function, add those factorials and return it as an output from this function here. And here we are taking input of two numbers from keyboard. And y. Now here we can, if you want to find out factorial of x, you can call this function factorial like this. If you want to find out factorial of y, you can call function fact, this value y. And if you want to find out addition of factorial of these two numbers, we can directly call this add function. Instead of calling this fact function, we can say add xy. Check the results. Here we are entering value of x as a 5, value of y as a 5. So respective factorial and addition of the factorial. So what we want to understand through this code, what we have written, we call this fact function through add function. We call it twice. We call fact function from here, from main function also. We call add function here. So bottom line is that you can write down any number of functions in your program. You can call any function from any other function for any number of times in your program. So that is idea behind function. That is idea of procedural programming, that divide your larger code into smaller functions and call that function as per your requirement and manage your code. That is basic concept of functions. We having idea how to define a function, how we can call a function, how we can pass arguments to function, how we can get return value from a function. So next we'll see some function advantages. Now already we are having idea about it. We'll just summarize it. The first one, by using functions we can avoid rewriting same code again and again in a program. It's like in case of function we have seen, we can write function once and we can call it number of times as per requirement. So instead of rewriting that code again and again, we can write it once and use it more than one time. Okay. Next, we can call Python functions any number of times in a program and from any place in a program. So that we have seen, we can call function from any other function for any number of times. Okay. We can track a large Python program easily when it is divided into multiple functions. That is basic idea of procedural programming. Divide your program into number of small functions and call it wherever it required. Okay, so that is basic concept of procedural programming. And reusability is final achievement by using functions. So these are some advantages by using functions.